Elite Dangerous Trailblazers. It's a new update coming to Elite later this month, on the 26th of February in fact. This is going to be a huge update, in my opinion, and perhaps many other people's. It's going to fundamentally change many aspects of the game. The reason for that is because it's going to include the new colonization system. That means that players will be able to colonize empty star systems. Yes, as a player, you'll be able to become a system architect and then guide where the game places brand new space stations as well as planetary outposts. You will also be able to determine what economy type that star system has. To all intents and purposes then, that star system will effectively be yours. Frontier announced the new title of this update along with the release date a few days ago. I'm a little bit late with this one because I did spend the weekend away from home. Frontier then have announced the release date. As mentioned, it is the 26th of February, and they've also named it. It is going to be called Trailblazers. Now, I'm not a particular fan of that name, simply because Trailblazers kind of invokes the notion of speed, and I think this is going to be a very slow and methodical process. That is, colonization itself is not going to be a speedy endeavor. But I guess it depends rather, how you use the word Trailblazers. Obviously, you could be using the notion that you're setting up something new frontiers, as it were. So yeah, I certainly understand where the name comes from, but for me, I would like to have seen something else. But anyway, that's a minor inconvenience, isn't it? The colonization update is a huge deal, and something I've been really hoping to see in Elite for a very long time at this point. For those of you who've been paying attention to all of this, you may remember that for a while, Frontier have been indicating that the colonization update will come with a beta period. Now, for all reasonable thinking people, I'd suspect that when Frontier discussed that there's going to be a beta period, they imagined there would be a period where beta servers would be spun up and everything would be tested out before it goes to the live servers. It turns out that's not going to be the case. That's not how this particular beta is going to work. Instead, what's going to happen is that Trailblazers will be rolled out to the live servers where the beta process will actually take place, and by that, Frontier means that they will be changing values and making certain real-time balance changes to gameplay in real time whilst it's on the live server. So essentially, it seems that the gameplay itself is not being in beta, but rather the numbers, the balancing, and all the rest of it will go through a beta phase where things are in flux and will need to be balanced out based upon players' actions. And this does make sense. After all, we've had cases in the past where new features have been rolled out, like the fleet carriers, for example, and it had a massive backlash because costs and other things were just so far out of whack with what actually worked with players. So Frontier are going to avoid that problem this time by being able to really declare right up front that the figures we get initially are not the ones that are going to be set in stone, and that they will be changed and adjusted based upon what goes on with the game and the player actions. Yeah, it does make sense. If you haven't heard much yet about colonization, there is another video linked in the description below. Check that out to find out everything you need to know. For those of you who have been paying attention or who are up to date with everything, what are you looking forward to the most with this new update? Let me know in the comment section. Over the past few weeks, there's been an increasing number of comments under my Elite videos where people are pretty impressed to see the amount of content that is coming out for this game, especially over the year since the beginning of 2024 more or less. And to see this really big update coming in February this year is impressive to say the least. Now, that's not where it's going to end. Apparently, there is going to be a roadmap being presented in Frontier's next live stream. At least that's my understanding. Very curious to see what that's going to show, because hopefully, fingers crossed, there should be some additional updates coming this year. That is in addition to the one on colonization. Obviously, we can also expect, I would imagine at least, that we will see some more new ships. There was a number of new ships throughout 2024 for them, I do believe, so if we can see more of them come this year, that should be a nice addition as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a new ship come alongside the colonization update. Fingers crossed, at least that is my hope. Now obviously, with this number of updates coming over the past 12 months or so, it has had a knock-on effect on the player numbers. This is something that many of us on YouTube, many of us on forums and Reddit, all over the internet in fact, have been saying for many years at this point. if only Frontier were to invest into Elite Dangerous, if only they were to do updates that players actually wanted, then the player numbers would grow and financial return on the game would most likely increase. Well, that has turned out to be very true. The player numbers of Elite have been consistently increasing over the past few months. There's a couple of small downticks over the past 30 to 40 days or so. That's to be expected as some of this content has aged a little bit as people have logged on, played it and moved on. But I'm sure we're going to see another jump in player numbers when the Trailblazers update releases. We can see over on the Steam charts, and yes, I know not everyone is a fan of Steam charts for various different reasons, but it does give us a good indication on trends as to player numbers. And we can see that over the past few months it has constantly averaged well over 5,000 players, close to 6,000 players in some cases, with peaks over 10,000. This is a big, real far cry from where things were 12 months ago. Back in December 2023, we could see that peaks were 4,000 players and 2,500 average players. So numbers have more than doubled in that time period. Frontier have also confirmed a few weeks ago that this is borne out in their financials. Obviously, with the release of early access ships, where you pay to get access to ships a few months before they're actually available in-game to buy under credits, this has given them a bit of a financial return and a financial boost, so things are certainly working out. Although there are some out there who feel that these ships are a bit too much pay to win, and I think there is an argument to be made there, nonetheless, it seems that this is having a positive impact on the game, because the funds from all of this other content that they're making from selling early access to ships, that is being funneled directly back into Elite. And what we've seen over the past year, what it looks like is coming up later this year, is definitely a result of that. A few other small pieces of news here that are worth mentioning whilst we're here. Frontier unlocked the official live streams from Frontier on all of their games, which of course includes Elite Dangerous. The next one is scheduled for the 26th of February. That will be therefore airing the same day as the release of the Trailblazers update. That seems to suggest that between now and then we may not be seeing any official footage of the update before its release. Bit of a shame if so, because, well, it's always nice to see what we can expect further down the line, but if not, well, that's just how it is, I guess. Elsewhere, there's a brand new community goal. I don't normally talk about these too often, but this one is worth touching on because it does seem to be the precursor to the Trailblazers update. Specifically here, it's kind of an exploration community goal, if you will. Players will need to collect universal cartographics data, so get out there and scan a whole variety of different planetary bodies. Specifically, they're asking for details on high metal content planets, metal-rich planets, icy worlds, rocky worlds, as well as rocky ice worlds. If you want to know more about this community goal, do check out the link in the description below. So there we have it, and that brings us up to date with what's going on with Elite Dangerous as of today. There's another video on the screen right here if you want to watch that one. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. Do take care, and I'll catch you next time.